future. And sometimes it's hard for us to be able to see each other. But I know that we've been brought together for a greater purpose, and so I'm gonna remain patient. But while I do, just give me an opportunity to take care of you. I know lately things have been tough, and you've been struggling, going through oh so much. But with me by your side, praying daily, God make a way for my baby. And I don't complain, because I know this is just a part of our story. If we hold on, we'll see so much more. So just rest your mind and unwind and take your time to forget our troubles, baby. Relax, release, make love, be easy, be easy. Relax, release, make love, be easy. Stresses of this world can get you down, and distractions from everywhere got you spinning around. But for a moment, let's block it out and just pretend that we're together with lots of money on an island. Just sit back, I'll take good care of you. I'll get you in the mood, and I'll fix your favorite drink too, baby. Oh, baby. Relax, relax, release, make love, make love. Oh, baby, why don't you take your shoes off and let me relax, take care of you, make love. Here's your cigar, easy, and your favorite drink too, baby. Oh, relax, maybe I'll play a little melody, make love for you, easy. Your favorite tune, maybe, baby, oh, relax, we'll put on a little Marvin Gaye, make love, and maybe something that we'll do for you, baby. Relax, hey, really, no, put your stuff down, make love, put the phone, turn the phone off. Okay, just come over here. No, come over here. I got you, baby. I cooked dinner, relax. I got your drink, I got your cigar. Release. Just relax. Make love. Don't worry about tomorrow. Be easy. No, I got you. Don't worry about it, baby. I got you.
What's up, Musicheadz? So that beautiful song you just heard, it's called R&R by the talented, dope, beautiful MJ Baker, and we're super excited to have her as our special guest today. So this is going to be a special episode for me because I am a fan of MJ. So let's just get straight to it. Who is MJ Baker?
Oh, man. So I would say pretty much MJ Baker is chill, very
self-reflective, and on the funny side, I do like practical jokes. I am definitely a practical jokester. I am a schemer all day. I don't seek revenge. I just scheme. So yeah. I mean, fun, just relax and chill. So.
Yeah. MJ, man. MJ is so dope. And I'm not just saying that because she's sitting here, but like as an artist, she is like one of my, like when it comes to soul and stuff like that, somebody who I personally know, favorites. I know I'm a huge Jill Scott fan. And MJ reminds me so much of Jill Scott. Just her music, like, and when I say I'm a huge Jill Scott fan, that says a lot. Yeah. So I love your music. I appreciate your music. And just speaking of Jill Scott, one of my favorite shows that I've been to at MJ's was at 3 Layers. What was that? 3 Layers Cafe?
Yeah.
Wow.
First of all, she packed out the house.
What?
It was packed.
What?
It was dope.
We need invites to the next show.
It was packed. Secondly, like, it was just amazing to see somebody, like, right here in front of your eyes that you know what I'm saying, can interact with that's that talented.
Right.
And it was definitely one of my, I will never forget that show. I've been to numerous shows, you know what I'm saying, but it's ones that stick out that I remember, like, from top to bottom when I was there. It was just that dope. So I don't know if I ever told you that, but
no, never.
That your show was amazing. But she covers Jill Scott, like, you would think she's like Jill Scott up there. Now I don't like to compare you like that, but it's just that caliber, like
there's so many influences in your music.
Yeah.
Like I hear gospel, I hear country.
Yes.
Oh
my God! Thank you so much for recognizing the country.
I hear disco at one point, like in one of your songs.
Oh my gosh. I want to cry right now.
And it just all makes sense.
Yeah.
Brittany, you are so dope for recognizing that, because MJ is like, she's that type. She plays the guitar and everything. So when you said country, I was like, you really paid attention.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. What's up.
I love the jazz portion. I'm a big jazz fan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. She's dope.
I was
like,
wait a minute. Is this country?
I know. I was hoping that somebody would catch on to that. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is that something that you listen to on a regular? Is country like?
I do love country music. I love like, just like, I guess it's kind of coincidental because I love the 90s, 2000, early 2000 country music versus the now country music. Because I feel like sometimes the 21st century country music can be a little bit more, or shall I say the millennial country music can be a little bit more, it's more pop country than actual. Because the foundation of country at the end of the day is blues.
Right.
And so it's just, it's just a more wider version of blues music. And so I love storytelling. And I remember with my grandfather watching Bonanza and just kind of being in love, falling in love with that. And then falling in love with Martina McBride and, different, and the Dixie Chicks as I, was in high school growing up, and just loved the way that music was. I just was attracted to it. So, I definitely try to, reflect that,
That's
in my
beautiful.
music.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. That's dope. That means you love music to really, like, have that many sounds incorporated in your music. So that shows that you really appreciate music too. Who are some of the people that is inspired? Who inspires you musically? And I guess you could tell us why you started singing. When did you know that you could sing first? Before we even go there.
I didn't think I could sing until maybe about 7 years ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, like I sang all my life in church and different things like that. But then a lot of my friends were like musical theater and were like going to like the local school here in art school here in Jacksonville, Douglas Anderson. So when I went away to college and all of them were music theater and all that kind of, I didn't think I could sing. I was just like,
why not?
Wow.
Because I pretty much, which I feel like most of us do, we compare ourselves to other people.
Right.
And so we look at those people and say, yo, oh my gosh, that person is awesome. And I was very reserved and insecure. So, when I hear people, and they used to laugh at me because I didn't do a whole lot of runs. I didn't do a whole lot of riffs and different things like that. I just sang straight. I sang whatever I felt. So, so I mean, it just discouraged me. It just made me feel like, okay, well, maybe I'm not that cool.
Oh.
And so it wasn't until about maybe 7 years ago.
And like, I guess when did it snap 7 years ago? Like what made you feel like, okay, I could sing, like, or who reassured you of that, or what happened? What made that click that you could sing?
I would say, okay, so the backstory is I was in a very emotionally abusive relationship, and from that, when I finally decided to leave after 5 years, I started writing, and I met a great producer. His name is Il Clinton at an open mic.
Yes, he is dope.
And that was my first attempt at the guitar, was when I was going through the breakup process of that relationship. And so I picked up the guitar and I just started playing, and I met Il Clinton, and he was like, yo, maybe we should play sometime. And then we started, he had music, I had lyrics, and that's when I kind of realized that, wow, maybe, he was like, yo, you're dope. And I was like, really? You think I'm dope? So it was like, it just started from there, and it just, went from there. Yeah.
Wow. Like, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know that you have a beautiful voice. I mean,
Right.
I hate that you didn't realize that even then. I hate that people kind of discourage you.
Yeah.
But that's a good story, though, because you can sing. It's not like you, like, can sing a little bit. Oh, she all right. No, you can really sing. So.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
What made you choose the lane of neo soul when you decided to sing?
To tell you the truth, I didn't choose it. It just came out.
Natural.
I mean,
Natural.
It wasn't anything that I said, because really I grew up listening to all types of music, and I was blessed to say that my mom didn't restrict it, so I was a rock and roll baby, rock and roll R&B child. Like, I loved Bon Jovi and, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it wasn't a situation of choosing anything. I think it just chose me. And, even now, because I feel like, after understanding the story of, like, the great artist Prince, like, he didn't want to be pigeonholed either, because you never know as an artist what's going to come out of you, especially if you listen to so much. I think labels box us, reduce us, when anything could come out, like if Martina McBride called me today, which I have tweeted so many times, Martina, I want to write for you. I do, because I have stories to tell. So yeah, I feel like, it's, I guess people interpreted my music that way. I just interpreted my music as however it comes out of me. So.
Right. And that's dope.
Soulful.
I always tell artists, never, box yourself in.
Right.
You should always have that creative space where you're thinking about evolving. It's not so much of conforming, but it's more so evolving. How can you, perfect your craft? Because if you box yourself in, you limit yourself to how many people, how many fans you gain, at the same time.
But I think that's like the beauty of neo soul versus R&B and soul music.
Right.
It's that it's R&B with the twist,
Yeah.
and it depends on the artist what that twist
Right.
is.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Right.
Like with country, funk, jazz, disco,
It's
hip
neo. It's
hop.
like a
That's why there's so many different variations of neo soul artists. It's
Definitely.
because
Right.
that twist that's part of
That's
your
just-
own
that what makes
individuality.
neo
It's
soul,
personal.
right?
Yeah.
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 It's-
That's good.
Their soul instead of putting the box, because R&B, that's when the box gets put on.
Right.
A lot of
Exactly.
artists in
Yeah.
R&B.
Exactly.
So,
Like you're
you know,
only an R&B artist. Like
exactly.
you can't.
Yeah. There's no
So
other
that's the
lane
special
going.
thing about neo soul. Like
Exactly.
everybody, a lot of people can't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not and to me, honestly, neo soul, I probably like neo soul more than I like regular R&B music. I prefer neo soul over that, just because you have that specialness, to it. So I definitely, it's one of my favorites.
Do you think the storytelling is different between neo soul and R&B? Like, does one genre get into stories a little deeper than the other? Is one easier to interpret most of the time, do you think?
You know what? No. I think it's just telling the story differently. Like, how some people, like if you ask your uncle about, what happened on January 18, 1982, he gonna tell you the story a totally different way.
Definitely.
And if you ask your mama what happened on that same date, she's going to give you the story from her perspective. So
Exactly.
I feel like it's just the same story, just a different way of telling the story.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And actually, that's how I feel like the genres of music are.
Exactly.
It's like I'm telling you the same story, but I'm just saying it a different way, whether it's rap.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Whether it's R&B, whether it's country, whether it's disco,
Yeah.
whatever. It's just to a different beat and a different rhythm
Exactly.
and a different interpretation of the same story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very
That's a
well
good way to
said.
look at it.
Yeah.
That's exactly
really
how they
is.
derive.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how they derive.
And that's funny that you say that, because when you were saying country, I kind of thought about, like, country is some dope country music out there.
Oh my
Definitely.
gosh.
The
And
lyric, the
stories,
stories, right?
you be
The
like-
stories.
You be like, wow, like it's some like I said, one of my favorite ones is Before He Cheats. Like I love that song by Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Like she was
Yeah.
like true for that shit. Like,
My mom would always put me on Patsy Cline, and
Oh my gosh.
y-
Patsy Cline.
she loved Patsy Cline. And then I got into like Sugarland, like as I became a teenager and a young adult. So I do appreciate country. The stories are good.
The stories are
Right.
great. And you get to, and you know what? I mean, I hate to say it, but to me, 90s R&B, the great storyteller was R. Kelly.
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I mean,
that's true,
listen,
though.
I don't condone any of the shit he do, but the
Exactly.
stories that man tells.
Right.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, when I started writing, I studied his music.
Yeah.
Like, when I started writing music, I was like, yo, I gotta go back to R. Kelly. I mean, because he definitely, you felt like, give me that honey love. I mean, you felt like
Yeah.
that chick that he was wanting to get that love from.
Absolutely.
And you felt like, you felt right when he was talking about the closet.
Yes.
You was like, damn, I know people in the closet.
Closet.
Like, I mean, he was just,
Right.
telling the story of your life.
He made it very relatable.
He
A lot of his
did.
music was very relatable.
He did. He definitely did that.
Yeah, that's when, I mean, R. Kelly, he mastered that. And I was just, a few weeks ago, I was just like, man, R. Kelly with the Trapped in a Closet series was just, that's one of a kind, you know?
DVDs for it, boy.
What? Yeah, it is.
Them first 5 chapters, pretty much everybody know the first 5
chapters.
God. Word for word. Like,
he took visuals for a song to a whole nother level.
And you know, I mean, and it's like, and really, if you think about it, okay, so I forget I think it was a BET Awards show that he did. The Trapped in the like his performance was Broadway. Yeah. Like it was Broadway the way he even had that play out. And so if you compare the Coachella, you know, performance, like, but I think that, you know, I don't even think that R&B artists or neo soul artists really pay attention to the visuals as much, because if you pay attention to that performance, it set a standard. But I don't really think that people took it as a standard. I think they just took it as, okay, R. Kelly being dramatic.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could do that shit on Broadway, and it would be
definitely before his time.
Yeah,
before his time.
And while he bullshitting, he probably should have done that.
Yeah.
You know,
he did it.
Like he would probably be a lot richer than he is now. You know,
right?
So that's a good point. Yeah, but R. Kelly, I love the R. Kelly, Ron Isley saga too. You know, that's a classic. That's a classic. You know,
he was always dramatic.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how they you know introduced themselves way back in the day with the Isley, and then he come back and you know reintroduce themselves with their video. It's pretty dope. So you know what I'm saying, keeping that.
He's always been able to remain
relevant.
Yes,
Mr. Big Ron. He's just been around for so long,
decades, decades,
and is still making panty dropping music. Like he's still got it.
Seeing what solo do for your career too, like because he definitely took off over the years.
Yeah,
man, very talented, man.
Definitely very talented. I just hate that he I just hate all the little bullshit that come along with R. Kelly though. You know what I'm saying? I hate the bullshit that come along with R. Kelly, because he could really be that could really make him so much better without all the, you know, pedophile stuff. But
so crazy this man called himself the Pied Piper. You know?
The Pied Piper, guys.
Think about the story. It's just like, bro, really, bro? Like, you know, growing up, you don't really think about, you know what I'm saying, what that really meant. You know what I mean? We really hear the story about it. It's just kind of, bro, you really called yourself that. It's kind of creepy.
The Pied Piper is definitely creepy.
So it's just like, I kind of look at you a little different now, buddy.
Like, we saying, like, our speaking of R. Kelly, you know, the recent events that happened with R. Kelly, you know, everybody on Facebook talking about, are we going to treat R. Kelly the same way we treating Bill Cosby? I mean,
I think... Go ahead.
No. I think we're going to say the same thing.
I think throughout history, society has proven that talent trumps morals. It doesn't really matter as long as you, like with all, like James Brown, Chris Brown, anybody who, like, just Bill Cosby, talent
Michael
trumps
Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Nobody talks about Michael Jackson and them little kids. Like, talent trumps morals, so it kind of doesn't matter, unfortunately, in a sad way. But I guess for the music's sake, it's a win, but I don't think it really matters.
But then it's like Bill Cosby, people stopped playing his, you know, shows.
Right.
I mean, Fat Albert doesn't play on PBS
that's
anymore.
sad. They ain't have to do.
I mean,
like
but
that.
then R. Kelly comes to a city and he sells
out
arenas.
and saying the same songs he's been singing for the last 20 years.
Right. You know, and we're not as upset about him maybe, you know, setting false, doing things with children, whether or not she's 15 or 16 or fucking 18. I mean, I think that shit is too young. I mean, you don't know who. I mean, a woman doesn't know really who she is until she hits 40. Like, I feel like I mean, you really don't know until you hit 40. Everything else is access. So it's like, at 18, she don't know what she know unless she's seeing it on TV.
Right.
So.
And in R. Kelly's defense.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Let's just, we have to look at things holistically. Like, in his defense, outside of his sexual issues, R. Kelly may be a really cool person. But Bill Cosby has proven that he's a shitty person. People have come out and talked about his vibe, how he treated them. Like, he doesn't have the best rapport with black people and or white people. And that's just, I mean, he did a lot of good for people, but he was also a creepy person in real life.
But just because you're a good or bad person,
I mean, you reap what you sow. It was bound to happen. Something was bound to happen to him.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he might be cool, but damn, these churn. Like, these is churn.
He's still a little
this old, saggy balls, R. Kelly. And these are 18 and 19. Seriously. Like,
he's about 50.
Yeah.
Really?
And he's
Wow.
old as shit. Women wipe his tongue with towels,
But it's it's not surprising. Like, he's been doing this since Aaliyah. Like, he's been messing with kids.
Exactly.
He's been had this issue. He's been sick. We just haven't helped him for years.
I was too young to really defend her, so I can't.
But I think when the Aaliyah thing came out, we were in a time period where we just didn't believe it. Like, we were just like, Aaliyah 18 for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right. She's shooting music. She gotta be older.
Right.
Older.
You didn't want to believe it.
Ain't no way in the world she doing that with that man.
It was that trial.
We didn't. Nobody wanted to believe that.
Right.
Like, that's true.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, it's sad. You just like, God damn, why I gotta be you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that definitely killed his legacy. But I would say, so MJ, who are some of the artists that you listen to? Like, who's in your playlist right now, or what you vibing to? What are you vibing to? It could be any topic. You don't have to.
I bet it's like 80% old school. What is it?
Sade. Very much.
Yes.
So. All right. I love Sade.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder for sure. Aretha Franklin. And Carole King, who wrote Natural Woman. So she's a white chick. So, is in heavy in my rotation right now, and in vogue, old in vogue, like back, from Free Your Mind, giving him something he can feel type stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what's up.
That's where I'm at right now.
Very.
So, since we're just on the topic of neo soul and soul or whatever, are you a Jill Scott fan?
Yeah, I love Jill Scott. Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
I think she definitely, I guess for me, like when I started listening to her, it was like she was more of the sexual side. Like she was very open about feeling good about being who she was at the time. And no matter my size, I can rock your world type chick. It was, she was dope. Yeah.
When you say that, it's so funny that you mentioned that. One of my favorite songs by Jill Scott is you're mentioning the sexual side of her, Epiphany.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
T put me on.
That is like the deepest, nastiest song, you know.
Like, okay,
it's just like, damn, like that made you feel like that. Like, damn. Like I know, like I was.
She made like sex poetic.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It was poetry.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was poetry, and it was just like how like she felt that deeply, like no pun intended, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She felt that deeply. At one point in the song, she said something like, she was describing it as incredulent, decadent. Like she said that about, you know what I'm saying. It's like, damn, like I want something that make me say big old words like that about it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, Jill definitely, when it comes to the sexual song, she does that on deeper level and make you be like, damn, that's hot, you know. Jill Scott is a great performer.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all have been to one of her shows, her live shows, but when I say this lady is an excellent performer.
Yeah, she is.
Like, she really rocks the house. She has you going. It's not a dull moment in her sets. Yeah. And you could tell she just really, she gives her all, and she's all into it, you know. Even though she's singing songs that she's been singing maybe over the course of her career, you know, the same songs, but she sing them like they brand new songs. Yeah. You know, and her skill level of singing is super, is wide out there. And that's why I said she kind of reminds me of you, because just of her different styles, the jazz influence, country influence, funk, soul, blues, all that. She does all that, and that's why I said she reminds me a lot of MJ.
And with the poetry, like I love your poetry tracks on your last project, especially you. That was really pretty.
Thank you. Yeah.
How do you decipher between like when your piece of writing should be a song versus you doing a spoken word?
I guess because it comes out that way. Like, You was definitely a poem, and I wrote You and the last track, which was you know, is more of a worship track at the same time. So I just, I just know the difference. Yeah. It just comes out that way.
I feel. You get chill bumps, I'm sure, sometimes when you hear some of your music, when you know, when you just know it's right. This is what, you know, this is where I'm going with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's one, I wouldn't say chill bumps it, but it just feels like a relief. Like it's a release when you begin. Like I started writing some new music this week, and
that's what's up.
As I was writing one song, you know, I was like, oh, okay. It was just like, oh, okay. I feel like I'm releasing something here. And it was just it was very natural. And the song isn't finished. It's, you know, the music isn't finished, but it was just, it was like for the first time that feeling where, you know, I'm not a mother, so I don't know what it's like to give birth, but it's like, you've had something held up inside of you for so long. And you've been waiting to release whatever it is, but you don't know how you're going to release it. You don't know what form it's going to come in. You know, is it a boy or is it a girl? You know, whatever it is. And then once it comes out, you're like, oh, this is what you wanted to say. You know, oh, okay. I like this word. Okay, girl, it was worth the wait. Okay.
So when you talk about writing, like, I always wanted to talk to a songwriter. Like, how do you write a song? You know what I'm saying? Like,
inspiration can come from anywhere.
Do you hear the melody like in your head first? Like how, like, is it the lyrics that come first, or is it the melody, or?
For me, they come together. So it also depends. Sometimes I'll have a subject that I already want to write about, you know, because of something I'm talking to about with my friends, or just something that I've experienced or something I've seen. And then all of a sudden, actually, I might be listening to the radio or listening to my normal playlist and get inspired from a beat.
Right.
Or sometimes I'll go, like if I go to somebody's performance, like for example, my family and I, we were talking about Lauryn Hill, and she's coming to Jacksonville, and so all of, you know, I mean, everyone in my family are music people, so they
That's
were,
so dope
you know,
to me.
so it's like so it's like everybody, you know, like my sisters, my nieces, we were all like talking about, are we going to the Lauryn Hill concert? Did you buy your ticket yet? You know, different things like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if she's gonna show up on time. But
Right.
you know, we were cracking jokes, and my sister,
got time for that bullshit, Lauren.
you know, I mean, because I'm the youngest of 14 kids. So one of my sisters, who's 60, was like, are you going to the Lauryn Hill concert? You know, and she was just like, what do you think about it? And as we started talking about it, I'm just saying, how it, you know, just that essence of, I forgot what I was talking about, y'all. What was the Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, and I mean, I'm just saying about, just talking about like the Lauryn Hill experience and how even that, you know, comes back into your music and the influence and the writing and the feeling and the experience, and, you know, and just, you know, what made her start writing, you know, write certain songs. And
from listening to
to her, and just like, and what I, you know, I was thinking about was, man, this song inspires me to write this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that song inspires me that way. And just like with Something More on my album, you know, listening to the Dixie Chicks made me go, okay, so I'm going to do something more. But it's like when I started playing it on the guitar, it just came out country to me. So when it was like, I was like, man, and if I could have afforded to put more instruments to remind it of that real country feel, I would have done it. But I didn't do it. But so it doesn't, I mean, it's just all about, I guess, you can listen to other artists, is what I was saying, inspires me sometimes to say, oh, I want to write a really fast song, or, you know, whatever like that. So
when do you know, like, something is kind of too personal, you need to save it for yourself and maybe not write about it?
Oh,
not
man.
put that energy
That's a
out.
good question.
Definitely.
When do you draw the line?
Like one that just stay in that black book, like.
I would say, I guess I'm a believer in, if it comes out, it just comes out. And if it fits with whatever, I guess, the other songs are, then you got to do it. Like, for me, Chosen Exposure, which is not a song, but it is one of the poetry pieces, was very personal. And I actually cried. Like,
wow.
You know, like so one of my good friends is Love Reigns, and she's a poet. And I was like, okay.
Shout out to Love Reigns too.
Hello, my friend. So I called her up and I said, listen, I have this poem, and I was like, I have this poem, but I don't, it's so personal that I feel like I'm numb to it. So how do I deliver this with, you know, how do I deliver this, like, sincerely, like, or whatever? But I feel like it, I mean, for me right now, I feel like if, as an artist, for me, if this is how you're feeling in this moment, And I always pray over my music and different things like that. So if I'm led to put it in there, I'll put it in there, because I feel like Chosen Exposure was like me saying, really, I don't got my shit together. Mm-hmm. And I just need to know if you're going to hang in there with me if I lose it. Yeah. You know, and then come back together. Like, will you still be there? And, you know, will I still be there? That's the question, you know?
The nerd side of me wants to know, who are some of your favorite poets?
I love Langston Hughes. Maya Angelou, of course. I grew up listening to her. I think her stuff was very naked. It was very, you know, this is who I am, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm thinking. You know, Nikki Giovanni. And then, you know, and I would say, you know, even poets right now, like, I mean, Love Reigns, who's a good friend of mine, her stuff is always very open, and different things like that. So yeah.
Dope.
Definitely.
So who are some of the artists, since you're a songwriter, who are some of the artists that you appreciate their songwriting skills?
You know what? I would say I'm still discovering that, because the deeper I get into studying different people, you know, because there's a difference between listening and studying.
Absolutely.
And like really saying, okay, because listening means, you know, oh, this sounds dope. I'm rocking with it. Studying means I'm purposefully analyzing this and really paying attention to it. So I would say right now, who I'm really paying a lot of attention to is Stevie Wonder. Listening to his music has really kind of made me go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what you were saying?
Wonder.
Okay,
Yes.
I get it. Like, you know, different people like that. And I mean, and someone which is surprising very much. And I think it's because I like the way she moves. And I talked to you guys about this before we started the podcast, is Beyonce.
Yes.
Just studying her moves, her ways as an artist. Because I think, you know, that too kind of curves your way in writing. So it's like you decide this is a song for y'all. Right. And this is a song for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I feel like Feel Something, the album, which is a year old now, yay.
Y'all go download Feel Something. iTunes. Where else is it?
It's iTunes. It's on Spotify. It is on CD Baby, YouTube, every place that you can think of.
MJ Baker, Feel Something. Very great record.
Very dope.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but make sure y'all go and download that.
Check her
very
out.
Good music. I promise y'all, it's a great body of work.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what's up. I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan myself. First of all, his voice is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind to me. And then his writing, and then for him to be blind, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that stops you from knowing how to write, but it's
just how he imagined life.
Right, how he imagined life.
Yeah,
whole
definitely.
different perspective.
Yeah.
He did. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
his imagination is so beautiful that he can imagine life without seeing it, man. Putting it into music, that is beautiful. And the fact that he has a skill set to play the piano, you know, it's just like, man,
the piano, the harmonica,
everything.
Yes.
Like, it's just a skillful soul, man. That's just
he's
beautiful.
just talented all the way around. He's gifted, you know.
Very
he's
much
gifted.
so.
That's what he is. He's gifted, and I mean, Stevie Wonder has some timeless records out here.
Yes.
Like I say, one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs is My Sherry Amore. That is
I swear that was on my
beautiful.
mind.
And also Ribbon in the Sky.
Yes.
I promise,
Yeah.
like you will hear that at my wedding.
Man.
Next year you'll hear that. That is one of my favorite songs of all time. Actually, when it comes to soul and R&B, whatever. Ribbon in the Sky,
Bring
My
tears to
Sherry
your eyes
Amore.
every time I listen to it, I swear.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to that song, man, because it's so beautiful. You just sit there and listen. Close your eyes when you listen to this song. I'm telling you. It'll bring a little time. I'm an emotional person, so excuse me. Excuse me if you don't agree, but you know what I'm saying. But that is a beautiful song, man. Timeless.
A couple of other like iconic, influential, just singers that you just know by their voice. To me, James Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try Me is like my favorite song. I don't think he wrote that, but like his delivery on that song is amazing. And Luther Vandross.
Oh my
Luther,
God.
man. Luther. Oh,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
I love
We
them.
gonna go. So which Luther now?
Next.
Which Luther?
Did you say which?
You gotta say which Luther because he took a little break in between now. So which Luther we got?
I think I'm rocking with Big Luther,
Yeah,
old
I mean,
Luther.
He got the hits
Yeah.
now. Which because it's hits on both sides of it.
But he was pretty. I mean, like even towards the end of his career, he still had it though.
Yeah, of course.
Luther
He still has
vocally
it.
Luther always
is
had
just...
it.
Luther, I'm sorry. Luther has, oh man, his voice is so smooth.
Effortless.
And he has range. Like,
Yes.
it's like you
Yes.
don't hear any mistakes in his voice.
Right.
If that makes
Beautiful.
sense.
Effortless.
And the
Yes.
range that he has, like his voice is beautiful.
Right.
It is.
And then
Right.
James Brown, he's just so raspy, and then you
Right.
get all that soul and churchy vibes, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
sound like he been drinking and smoking all night. And right. He just be yearning
never
and
sound
yelling. And ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess on that note, like who I guess we could start with you, MJ. Like, who are some of your favorite vocalists? I would give it a top 5 or top 10, but I don't know if
Don't
y'all
do
wanna-
that.
y'all
Don't
wanna
do
do
it.
that?
Don't put that pressure on
We
her.
gotta do it. We gotta do it.
No.
We gotta do it. She gotta.
Don't
high five
confine her
Give me at
answer.
least, give me at
me. We
least,
got to.
give me at least
10.
5,
but
7.
yeah, just give me at least 5. It ain't gotta be top. We're not gonna we're not gonna put the
At
pressure on
least
it, but give me at least 5
If you
of
gotta
your
put 6 in
favorite
there, then you
vocal.
throw that 6 in there.
Vocally,
vocalists.
vocally, I would say definitely there would be India Arie.
Yes.
Okay.
She's actually one of the main people that inspired me to pick up the guitar. So India Arie, I would say Patti LaBelle,
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Yes.
Love Shaka.
And you know, it's like, and surprisingly, Tina Turner.
Yeah. Well,
But Tina got skills.
Tina has this gruff, like,
raspy.
It,
You know what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
something about her voice.
it's just something about it that
Rocker like.
that will do it for you. And you know what? I would say, you know, Whitney Houston. I mean,
Absolutely.
at the end of the, yeah. I
Absolutely.
have not, I know people like to compare, but there is nobody
like Whitney Houston.
like
Nobody.
her. Nobody can sing.
And-
You know what? Okay. I'm going to put one more person in there.
Okay.
Brandy.
Yes.
Oh,
No, that's That's right up Tia alley right there.
Brandy.
Don't
And
even get her started on
I'm
Brandy.
telling you, y'all gonna
And
start
I try
sleeping
to,
on
you know
Brandy.
what? And this is my thing is I feel like I feel as if Brandy, like even today, I feel like Brandy can give any vocalist that is alive, you know, that is of this generation, a run for their money.
Absolutely.
You know, I just feel like her downfall, her thing was she doesn't believe enough in herself.
And that's exactly what it is.
But she is an amazing vocalist,
And it's
I
like
would
she
put
doesn't have the
anybody.
craziest range, but she has like mastered the art of just like capturing an audience emotion.
Yes.
She really connects with the song and brings you in, and her lower register is so sexy.
Oh my God.
So sexy.
And her runs, she her runs are dead on, you know.
Yeah.
Like I told them the other week, I feel personally that Brandy, you know, inspired your Jasmine Sullivan. You know, just like Brandy, like I feel like she slept on, you know, to a sense. I don't know why, but like you said, because
she lets herself be slept on, though.
Yeah, she does.
She's not, cause see, here's the thing: is I think that if Brandy had the amount of ambition that Beyonce did, Beyonce would not. When you talk about vocally, Beyonce would not be at the top.
Yeah.
But Brandy does not have the amount of ambition that Beyonce does. She's not as good of a performer. Right. But vocally, she can run rings around.
She can, though. Yeah.
Vocally, can kill.
Brandy
can slaughter Beyonce.
She could.
Who people consider the best vocalist now. I'm talking about now.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad you agree with me on that. Because people always kind of give me a side eye like, Brandy, yeah, maybe, but no. Like, I just studied her voice, and it's definitely, she's great.
Yeah.
Brandy did shut it down on the little soul. I think she was on Soul.
The Soul Cypher or the Soul Train.
Soul Train. She had a little performance on there. I think it was a soulful award show, and I believe she was on there. She did a little performance, and she killed it. So she still got it. I wish she would come out, you know, with something. I'm waiting to see that. What's in the works with her and Daniel Caesar.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something to look forward to, because Daniel Caesar is definitely popping right now.
Yeah, Daniel Caesar is definitely one of my favorites. Before I even talk about him, just to piggyback on you, MJ, when you spoke about India.Arie. Now, I know I'm a huge India.Arie fan as well. What are some of her songs that stick out to you? Like, what are some of your favorite records by India? It don't matter. You don't limit yourself. You know, don't limit yourself. But I know it's a lot of them that are good.
Oh my God!
Just give me a few of them.
Brown Skin.
Yes.
What's my favorite? There's this song that she does. It's a cappella on one of her albums where she talks about the build of the man. And when I say the build, meaning his internal and external, she uses things like, you're built like a skyscraper. And you're like, her fluid imagery in that to just talk about her man at the time was, you know, very beautiful to me. You know, along with Brown Skin, This Is Not My Hair. You know, the thing about India.Arie is that what I love is that she's visual.
Yes.
So she does in her lyrics in some way take you on that visual.
She paints a picture.
She does.
Yeah.
And even in her voice, like even in her vocal technique, like it's not perfect, but it's right. It's like
it's perfect for her.
Right. And
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's so, you know, I just so she
I definitely
just did
agree
it for
with
me.
that.
Back to your Whitney Houston. What was some of your favorite Whitney Houston songs? Oh, are you going back to
I was about to You good. No, because I want to touch on Whitney Houston too. But like with India, when you were saying how she, what did your word you said? You said how she visual with her man. Like, it's one of the songs on her album called Complicated Melody.
Yes.
That song.
That's the song I'm talking about.
That's the song you're talking about.
Yes.
That song is beautiful. She says, he's such a complicated melody. And how she say, I almost cannot sing it on key. Like, she is
just
like,
that's the song.
That song is so beautiful. I don't know if you ever heard it, but if y'all haven't heard that, go listen to Complicated Melody by India.Arie. Like, how she just describes how this man is a complicated melody. Like, she can't.
Yeah.
when you hear it, you're gonna be like, wow, that's deep, and that's what's up, you know.
Yeah, like I just googled the lyrics. If he were a color, he'd be deep green forest green. If he were a car, he'd be a long stretch limousine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with room, and then she said with room for all of humanity inside. So she's just talking about the soul of this man. You know what I'm saying? She's just talking about just she said, the inside and the outer of this man. Like, he'll be a long stretch limousine with room for all of humanity. So he's a beautiful man. Like, he has a beautiful spirit, you know. Yeah. And that's deep. That's to find something like that, boy. That's deep.
That's deep, yeah.
You know, to have that experience, like, I know I won't say it's that deep about my man, but when you find somebody that song relates to, it just makes the song so much more appreciated.
Yeah.
You know, so
it does.
You can go ahead. I'm sorry, I just had to get that off about.
I don't know. That sounds like a great song. But Whitney Houston. So, what are some of your favorite Whitney Houston songs?
Oh my gosh.
What do you like about her too?
Her voice. Yeah. It was classic. It was inspirational. Like, oh, I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
I want to feel the heat with somebody. Like, I mean, what black woman is singing about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, even from like the songs where she was talking about being with a married man.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so this is how clever her marketing was. Like, they would paint her as this really squeaky clean chick, but she sang about infidelity. She sang about being the side chick.
She did.
Yeah. Before we called it a side chick. You know, she sang about that, you know, and just, you know, and even as an actress, I liked her. I liked her, you know, I thought she was like that, you know, becoming that double threat in the arena of acting, because it was so natural for her to be a damaged woman, because she was a damaged woman.
Very complex.
So it was like,
And like T and I were having this conversation, like a note to the quality of her voice, even at her lowest, she could still perform up until a certain point, but still, for the most part, she could still like and then you talk about her being an actress and Preacher's Wife. She was cracked out throughout the whole movie, and that's still my favorite Christmas movie. Like,
But for real though, straight up, like, that's true. It's just for her to have such a small, and I'm not trying to use that as a stereotype, but for her to have such a small frame and for her voice to be as large as it is, it's just like, wow. Yeah. You know.
Where is that coming from?
Yeah, where is that coming from? Like, there would never be another Whitney Houston.
No, never.
Never be another Whitney Houston. Yeah. I hate the fact that she let that narcotic get to her, you know. I hate that took her out, you know. It's sad that she couldn't really get the help that she needed to recover and to move on from that. And I know when Whitney Houston passed, that hurt me. Like, I knew her, you know what I'm saying? Because growing up, Whitney Houston was my favorite.
Yeah.
When Whitney Houston would sing, I'm like right in front of the TV. Like, my mama had to tell me, move back from the TV. Like, her voice just intrigued me. And it was just power. And of course, I didn't know what the lyrics meant back then. But, you know, now that I'm older and understand, you know, it's just like you said, she was, you know, she sang hella good about infidelity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so, rest in peace to Whitney Houston.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Definitely.
One of the best vocalists this world will ever know. I believe so. Yeah. Whitney is the GOAT. As some would like to say.
Her music will definitely transcend time. Like, people will forever be jamming to her music.
Yeah. Did you have another question?
Where do you see the future of neo soul going? How creative will it get? Will it die out? What do you think?
I don't think it'll die out. I think it will just morph into something else. Because I mean, it has so many legs right now.
Yeah.
You hear so many different. I think Tia said this earlier. It's like it's another form of R&B. So when you hear some artists now, I really feel like music as a whole is gonna stop having so many labels, because you have artists now that I feel like this, what they call the millennial generation, is such a hodgepodge, and everybody, not even racially we're mixed, but musically, you have kids that, this generation listens to everybody. So I think their influences will be a fusion of everything. And so you'll get to a place where you'll be wondering, where do we put neo soul now? Where do we put
it'll be so
R&B?
many subgenres of
right, you'll have so many subgenres. I do believe jazz will be classic, R&B will be classic, which I feel that we're lacking. I feel like we don't have enough. I don't want to know what you're going to do to me in my panties. I want the mystery of, girl, wait to see what I'm gonna do in them panties. I want to keep that mystery going, but I don't want you to tell me every little thing you're gonna do to me.
Yeah.
That
I
sort
miss
of
R&B.
thing.
I will say that.
So
I feel like it's still gonna be relevant. It's just the people that they just have select listeners, just like certain music have select listeners. Granted,
I just wish it was more appreciated.
Yeah.
More so.
I think people take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just not. Think about back when R&B was on a popular, more popular scale. It was due to the fact that we had videos back in the day. It was on that wave. So we just. It's just like it's not on mainstream. It's not put out there like that anymore. So if we had those platforms like back in the day when we had readers, videos and the basement sometimes, with a 106 in Park, we don't have those. They don't have those outlets anymore to get their music out unless you watching those certain channels, and then you only gonna get those channels if you paying for them, and some people can't even afford it, so their music is not really getting out there unless you on SoundCloud or whatever, and some people don't even have that. So it's just about the streaming, trying to get their music out there. That's why BET and all them other people, they need to try to change the outright, get all this reality TV out of, and put music back on. Music tells stories, so those stories can change lives.
It's a bunch of them. I wouldn't say unfortunately, but unfortunately, but not unfortunately, ladies that have to go through that, dealing with dope dealers or whatever the case may be. But she made that raw. So, Erica is one of a kind as well. There'll never be another Erica.
Not at all.
She's just unapologetically her in her music. Even with Tyrone is just, that's probably her most notable song. Tyrone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a really good song. I like Tyrone.
And it's like, now that I think about it, how a lot of women, black women especially, related to Mary J. Blige. But if you look at Erykah Badu, you can relate to her just as much on the same level. But I think because she had the label of neo soul, again, like I said, it's like those women who were in the Erykah Badu age when they were 16 or 17 probably didn't listen to her as much because they thought, oh, I gotta be this deep. So, and now as an adult woman, you can say, shit, I had a Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
I dealt with that.
You know what I'm saying? Tyrone
now.
now you can feel what she's saying.
So it's like, again, you could say, okay, she's a reflection of what Mary J. Blige was to R&B, to neo soul, in the sense of like that realness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you don't have that question. Do you like the happy Mary or the sad Mary? Nobody asks, do you like the happy Erica or the sad Erica? You know what I'm saying? It's all one and the same. You don't ever have that comparison. So.
And she did a really good job of like musically, as far as instruments and sounds and beat. Like she's always stepped it up with each project. But like even with Love of My Life, like it has so many like hip hop elements to it, and she's so diverse, like hip hop, funk, jazz. Like I love her love song with Stephen Marley. It's like a jazz interpretation of a love song with "I'm in Love with You." Yeah, and she's just very consistent with her music.
Absolutely, and like I said, she's definitely unapologetically her. I would say one of my favorite songs that kind of describes that aspect of her is Clever off of Mama's Gun. She just be like, this is how I look without makeup. Right. With no bra, my nanny said that, down low. And she just kept it real. Point blank period. Yeah. She kept it real. I find that she does that a lot in her music. Right. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people appreciate her. Because she keep it 100. Right. So, and then, I don't know if that's why she got so many baby daddies, but...
right? But it's like, her baby daddies, like, we're talking about really... They're all rappers. They all can rap. Great rappers at that. Like, lyricists.
Yeah. So that means that's a standard for her.
Right?
Even what's the other guy that's not really like really out there? I can't remember his name.
You're talking about
the producer. I think he's a producer. Gosh, I can't remember his name. But even him, I think he can spit too. So like everybody that she deals with, they can rap on some kind of level. So
like she got a standard. Music is a real love for her.
Yeah, you gotta be able to bring it with her.
And now her kids are in it. Her daughter's sing. Her son 7 produces.
And her son, Andre's son. Yeah.
Yeah, her daughter is definitely she's nice. Erica has some timeless songs, even though she's not as creating as much more as she used to. I know her her little mixtape that came out in 2015, but you can't use my phone.
That jump was fire.
That shit. That when I say, man, I love that project. Because she had fun with that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But she got some dope records on there. How she was like blending songs,
right?
And staying current at the same time.
Right.
She basically did. She did her own version of Drake's cell phone. You used to call me on my cell phone. Yeah. But she made it hers, and that was dope. And then the Phone Down song, we all know that.
Yeah.
That song so funny. I can make her put your phone down. And you could tell when she created that song, she was just bullshit.
Yes.
And her hand was like, I'm gonna make her put your phone down. And just, you know what I'm saying, turn it into a song. That's the same thing she did with Tyrone. She was just
freestyling.
Vibing. Yeah, she was just freestyling.
That's creativity.
Yes. Yeah, so Erica, she's definitely one of the kind, and she will go down as one of the best to ever do it. Definitely. And that's just what she is. So, Erica, salute to her. And she real too. She real. I know I said that, but she's real. Like on Instagram. I don't know if y'all follow her on Instagram and stuff. Like she keep that shit all the way 100. Yeah. If somebody come in her comments with some, she keep.
Yes.
She just tell it like it is, and it's dope. Like, she's a deep human being.
Definitely.
I would love to go one of her concerts.
I would love to meet her and have a conversation.
Yes, I would love to meet her.
Her and Andre. I'll take both of you. I just need both of you. I just want to sit you down and have a conversation. You know, it ain't gotta be nothing, you know, personal. I just want to have a conversation, man. Just pick your minds, man.
Yeah.
Because I can just imagine the knowledge you guys have.
So let's talk about some newer neo soul type artists. I call them neo soul like 2.0. You have your Solange, you have your Daniel Caesars, your Janae Aiko. Do you listen to any of those newer neo soul artists, MJ?
Unfortunately, I don't. I listen to a lot of independent neo soul artists. Like there's one young lady. Her name is it Manassa? She's from London, but she's British. And so her music is pretty dope. Now Solange, I do dig, but Solange is so, I don't know how you call like she could be inspired by anything. So I don't think neo soul is a good category for her because she could come out with a rock album next year. True.
Yeah.
So I mean, because she's like such a flower child in the sense of like she's more free than Beyonce is. Definitely. I think Beyonce kind of wishes she was Solange, but
you think so?
Yeah. Because Solange can cuss a nigga out and the world would and keep it going, you know, and the people will buy her album next day. If Beyonce did that, she wouldn't, you know, she couldn't
smoke. No. Yeah, she could cuss somebody out, smoke weed. Like she's
just a regular person.
Yeah, and she's gonna do it in platforms and bell bottoms. Like it's just
Jay-Z ass and still be cool.
Like. But
sorry, Jay.
But I think but I think that everybody is great. You know, I don't have any, you know, people that I don't like. But I do stick to more old school.
Yeah.
More, you know, I love Aretha Franklin.
Beautiful voice.
Definitely.
And I love her, you know, like Say a Little Prayer for Me. You know, Say a Little Prayer for You. Is one of my favorite songs. I mean, just I don't know. I just dig the old school stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big old school head too. Like Anita Baker, I love me some Anita Baker. I love me some Anita Baker. She just, man. A lot of times I find myself listening to that more than like even current R&B or whatever.
Yeah.
Listening to the old school soul music, like that's where it all began. Actually, you know, began and. Her, who else? Like you said earlier, Shaka Khan. It's a bunch of Sade. Like I love Sade. It's just
beautiful.
Man, Sade.
I mean, before the, I think I read where before she did the theme song for A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
And I think they said this is the first song that she's written that she has published in 10 years.
Yes.
In 10 years. I mean, I'm like, and when I perform her songs, I always say she's the only artist I know can disappear for 10, 15 years and come out with an album and the shit is like golden.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to stay in our faces 24 hours, and that's
because she's just pure.
I mean, and you're touched by God, literally. I mean, that just shows you what a classic song can do, you know, and what it could do. I mean, and to me, like, I think too, when you think about of Michael Jackson, you talked about classic music. If Michael Jackson didn't put out a song for 10 years, he would be cool. Like, you know, but if Beyonce didn't put out a song in 10 years, it's different. Like, it's not the same.
And I think that just comes with the timing too. You know, since back in Michael Jackson time, Sade, they didn't have technology.
Yeah.
So everything that they're doing is raw. You know, it's from the realest it's gonna get, you know. So the rawness in the music make it so much more potent, I guess. You know, it makes it last so much longer. Versus, you know, all the extra stuff that makes music better, you know, today. So yeah, Sade is I don't, like you said, she touched by God.
Yeah, it's like
her music is beautiful. It's still time. Like her music came out in the 80s. Right. And it's still being used today, like in television and movies.
Yes.
I still bump it heavy, like it just came out, you know, so.
And it's not even, I mean, but I think the classic thing, it's not even just her lyrics, but it's the music.
The music, yeah.
It's the musical. Right. It's that feeling you get. And, you know, so beautiful, oh my God.
It just takes you in when she's singing.
It does.
Like, when you say to soothe your spirit, she just soothes your spirit. Right. Yeah. You know, she sets the atmosphere. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just something, her voice, it's not even power in her, but it's just the uniqueness and the just who she is, the way she delivers her music, her sound is everything is just perfect. Like she makes perfect. She creates. She's a mood creator, or you know, enhancer, or however you want to put it. So you know, from smooth operator to that shit just so smooth, it make you just want to, you know, what I'm saying, like.
And I think, you know, I mean, if I can say something, I think that's something that we forget. I think as artists, we get so caught up in being popular and famous and rich that we forget that our purpose as any type of artist, whether you're a visual artist like a painter, a dancer, a singer, a musician, your ultimate purpose is to set the mood. Mm-hmm. And I think we forget that we are, like you said for Sade, we're mood setters.
And that's what a soul artist is. Yeah. You know, set that, you make a person feel the music.
Right. I mean, because even, I mean, you think about hip hop. I mean, it's like, what are you may not realize. I mean, I think some of us don't realize the power or the authority we've been given as artists, period.
Yeah, that's
so any type of medium of artistry that you're into, like even a podcast, you know, what you guys are doing is a medium of artistry. Yeah. And so you set the mood for people. You set the mood of whether or not I'm going to like this album or not. Am I going to research this artist to see if they're really as bad as they say they are, or am I going to take the time to really listen to this project that they're saying is dope as hell?
Yes.
So it's just like, you know, I think we forget. You know, we say, oh, no, this is just for me. But no, it's not for you. Because, motherfucker, if you got a microphone and you're on a stage, the purpose is for you to influence people.
Right. Yes.
And I think we try to say, oh, this is not my responsibility. But when you decide this is what you're going to do for your life, you are responsible for the energy that you send out to the crowd, for the energy that those people feel at the end of the night. And I think we have forgotten. And so, I mean, even with Feel Something, I mean, that's why I wanted people to get a certain energy from the album. Yeah. And I wanted people to feel like, you know, whatever this song makes you feel it. You know, if R&R makes you want to go fuck your man, fuck your man. You know what I'm saying?
When MJ performed R&R, she showed out. She showed out. You hear me? But that
I didn't remember what I did.
I wish you guys were there at that show. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah.
But I mean, I think we forget that we provoke. We are provokers. We're not just creators, but we're provokers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we're carriers of whatever we're feeling at the time that we are delivering.
Yeah. You know? So. And that's I'm glad you said that, because with all the new music that's been coming out, J. Cole and stuff like that, I found people really putting too many expectations on an artist. You know, I was trying to get them to understand that an artist creates for them. You know, and if you like it, if it speaks to you, then
it's for
you know that
Yeah.
speaks for you. It's for you. You know, but don't judge an artist. Don't expect something that you want out of them. You know what I'm saying? Let the artist create. You know what I'm saying? But for real, like, you know, don't expect me to talk about hood shit when I'm not in that space mentally right there in that time. You know, I may talk about that later down the line, but don't expect for me to talk about that. Maybe I'm in a time and period where I'm in love. You know, I'm at the peak of love, or you know what I'm saying, I'm not having any like problems. I might be, you know, just in love right now. And then my next album, I may be on some what's going on in the world today. Like, why am I not, you know, some emotional type of feeling. But you know, that's why I say don't go into listening to music with an expectation. Just listen to it, digest it, and if it's for you, it's for you. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's what has taken the creativity away from it, is because of expectations. But we can't. I mean, but the thing about it is that as human beings, you know, as people on the ground, you know, as I like to say, we think ground like, meaning we expectations is like a minimalist thought of mine. But to be open and say, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna get from this album,
but let me take it in
but
and see.
I like the artist, and let me just take it, you know, how I'm going to take it and absorb it the way I'm going to absorb it. But a lot of people, it's not that way. So, you know, and like you said about, you know, being an artist, and then as your life grows, I remember when, you know, Jay-Z, when he came out with the album where he was talking about Picasso, I think he had that, he was talking about art. Magna Carta, yeah. So I remember reading articles where people were disappointed because they were like expecting it to be like a certain way. But then I remember him putting out a statement and saying, I can't write about where I'm not at.
Yeah.
Like I'm no longer like that kid. Like
that's
I'm not that kid
and all
anymore
that.
That's hustling, selling drugs.
Right.
So when I wrote those other albums, I was selling drugs. That's all I knew. But now he was like,
I'm collecting
I have
pieces
a new
of art.
yeah. And he was
like,
like, listen, I'm investing in basketball teams, and I'm driving my daughter to school.
Right.
So I can't write about, you know, so I think that's where our expectations, you know, kind of ruin
the music.
You can't blame someone for evolving.
Exactly.
It's supposed to happen.
And that's what I hate. And fans, like I always say, you know, y'all artists, big ups to y'all, you know, because it takes a lot to be an artist. You know, you have so much ground to cover, you know, the music, content, you know, capturing fans, all kinds of stuff, you know, but it's hard, especially I think the bigger you get in music today, fans make it hard for artists. Like, oh, if this not what they wanted, you know, they're just like, oh, that's trash. But it may not be trash to the next person, you know. So I hate that whole, you know, holding it up to a certain level. Like, okay, if it's not this, then it's trash. Yeah. You know, so those expectations could really, you know, damage the music and the creativity, like you were saying. So.
Well, we're a selfish society.
Yeah, that's true.
We're selfish. We want shit our way.
We do.
People gotta realize that the artists are still people. So people got lives.
They go
too.
things.
Artists got lives. So once they go through things, that mean it comes out.
That's
in
how
their
you
music.
create.
Exactly, it comes out in their music. True artists it comes out through their music.
And that's why I hate the way, you know, some people reacted to the Bruno Mars album. Because what I'm saying is, you know, a lot of people
didn't like it?
Appropriation. No, they liked it, but it was like as soon as it started blowing up, then you have all these
the little
articles
cultural
talking about appropriation.
That was stupid to me.
And to my point, this man is from the Philippines. I mean, he is close to black as you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a Filipino person, I mean, they close to Spanish and black as you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Are.
And so
look at his team.
I thought it was unfair because, you know, he he is just a reflection of of the things that he's already experienced and he's seen, and you know, he never said I was not impressed.
Well, he's inspired by
this and inspired by that. And what I thought was, oh, y'all mad because you wanted to do it 10 years ago and you didn't do it because you were afraid to, because you were scared. And now he's saying, okay, I'm going to bring back all this funk and all this stuff that inspired me, and I'm just going to interpret it my way and make it really cool. And I think, you know, but I say he's the example of somebody who went from pop, because he wasn't played on BET.
Not at all.
You know, he was played on VH1 and MTV. You know, and Fuse. So it's like, then now all of a sudden with this new album, you know, this man, you know, BET Awards and all this kind of stuff like that. Now black people want to embrace him, but you know, he's always been this way. It's just been an evolution of an artist, but again, we don't allow an artist to evolve, because we
put so much up against him, these expectations.
Definitely.
And that's why I say it makes it hard, you know, for you to just, it's almost like you have to tune all that shit out and just do you know, and that's what I love about artists like that, you know, who are just say, I'm gonna make the music I want to make, and that's
if you
that.
like it or whatever.
So
the true fans gonna stick with you anyways.
I know we've been talking about a lot of ladies, but who are some male singers or neo soul artists, R&B, who you appreciate or who you like or who you a fan of?
Okay, so artists, I would say Bob Marley.
Okay.
Tony Bennett.
Yes. Tony Bennett is tough.
Sammy Davis Jr. actually. He was a great vocalist outside of being a dancer. And then I would also say Tank.
Yes.
You know,
everybody loves Tank.
You know what? I love his explicitness.
Yes, this last album, I was like, yes, Tank.
And you know what? It's like, and I can only take so much of him.
Yes.
Like, I can only listen to one song, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know, it's like,
that's how I am.
And I remember, you know, and I remember texting my nephew going, "This is you all day," you know. But Tank, to me, vocally as a songwriter, he is, you know, he can do anything. He has that that same flexibility. I just don't think people give him the opportunity to be as flexible as an artist and as a vocalist. And Prince.
Yes,
you know,
God.
Prince's range is what spoke to me. And I remember some years ago, oh my gosh, it had to have been about 3 years ago, Yahoo, he was coming out with his newest album, so it must have been maybe 5 years ago now. He was coming out with his newest album, and he did a listening party through Yahoo Live. And this man was so encapsulated that he had a listening room in the in his little, you know, campus area or whatever. But they talked about his perfectionism, and then just listening to him as a vocalist and his ups and how he can go all the way to the topics of his, you know, of his head voice, and then go all the way down to bass in his true voice. It was, you know, it's amazing. And the only person I can think that matches that is Bilal. You know,
very
Bilal is, and oh my boy, D'Angelo. D'Angelo too is consistently baby face. I mean, we just it's just a different caliber.
Dang, I wish that kind of music, like that kind of singing, was still like.
Yeah.
Right. Especially when you said Babyface, I'm like, Babyface is just so just gifted in so many ways, from songwriting to singing, all that stuff. And you did name some good people, especially Prince.
Yeah,
man, Prince is just...
And one more person, he's from Jacksonville, Leon Timbo.
Yes, Leon is so
he's
nice.
He's an amazing artist and great person. Yeah.
Yeah, Leon is very nice.
What about Maxwell? Don't forget about Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Come on now, yeah, Maxwell's there now.
Maxwell is sexy.
Very.
I was, you know what I'm gonna say about this? I never was vocally, I wasn't a fan of him, but his the music that he put out was dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, but I don't know. Like, musically, are our palettes there? Like, for that, you know, D'Angelo, you know, Maxwell type dudes, because they seem to be here, but they don't last.
Yeah.
It's because the world ain't embracing it like that.
I'm a fan of Anthony Hamilton.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I love the rawness of his voice,
Anthony
man.
Hamilton.
I
so
like
raw.
Anthony. I like Anthony.
It's so raw.
He's another good storyteller.
Definitely.
Yes.
He will put that in. He will put his life in the story.
Right.
His voice is so unique too, and that's what really that makes him.
Y'all remember that Abbey Root song? All my life
I've
been
poor.
poor.
Yeah.
You remember that? Man,
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was my
man,
love. Yeah.
growing up here and there, I'm like, oh man, this make you feel like, just jeez, man, make you want to get out of your situation for real. Like that storytelling through the songs, man, is just awesome, man.
Another artist who I like, and not so much like vocally, but just as an artist, is Ryan Leslie.
Oh yes.
Ryan Leslie is so
true artist.
Talented. Like, he pretty much produced all his music, like from instrument to instrument. You know, he's kind of almost like a little Prince. He writes his music, you know, but he has some great albums out there. Definitely underrated, super underrated to me. But I like him, and of course John Legend. John is
the GOAT.
Man, John is one of my definitely favorites, period. His first album was Get Lifted, was a classic. Get Lifted he set the bar, I feel like, with Get Lifted as a debut album. Like, it was just it was perfect to me, honestly. And the content behind his music, and you know, his writing skills, I really like John. He makes he has some nice ballads, and his love music is really nice to me.
Definitely.
And he definitely has a unique voice. And the thing that I love about John a lot is when he collaborates with hip hop artists. I just feel like he's like a perfect match for like your Rick Ross. I love when they collaborate. Yes, they make beautiful music when they come together. Who else?
Andre, that Green Light.
Yeah, Andre 3000, the Green Light song. Because, you know, John Legend is hip hop influence, because he came up with Kanye and as a producer and stuff like that. So even his, you know, collaborations with Kanye and stuff like that. So John is, I think the hip hop community really, you know, fuck with John Legend a lot, because he made those hits, you know. So
definitely,
I appreciate him for that.
Y'all mess with Kim?
Kim, I love Kim. I was gonna ask y'all, do y'all consider him soul or?
I mean, he has his
R&B?
soul moments. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
very much so.
He is his own. I love me some Kim. You hear me?
Sliding now, like
I've seen him live.
Oh, wow.
I did too at the jazz festival.
That's where I saw him live about 6 years ago at the Miami Jazz in the Garden. Jazz in the Garden.
Wow.
And I saw him live, and I was like,
If only you guys could see it.
You know, and it was just like musically
just captivated.
Yes, and it was like musically, my life had changed. And just, you know, he didn't do a whole lot, but he did enough, and it was just
his voice is one of a kind.
Definitely.
His style, I just love his style. Like Kim, that's I listen to him a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
He kind of creates that vibe a little bit, like how Sade does. Like to me, Kim just creates that vibe.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I love him when he do that little "Hey girl," that little. That's my thing. He's so smooth, man. I bet you a lot of females try to Hollywood act Kim. I know
he's really cool. I don't listen to him. I don't know.
You don't?
Only because like an ex messed him up for me.
Oh damn!
He used to listen to them all the time, and now when I hear Kim, I just think and I ain't trying to do that, so I just avoid listening to him.
He's heavily jazz influenced too.
Yeah, that's why I like him. That's why I brought him up, because I like jazz. So you know he definitely slides.
You know who we didn't mention? We haven't mentioned a couple people actually, but. Chrisette Michelle. Now that we're talking about jazz, y'all like Chrisette?
Yes, I love her mixtape she had. That was pretty dope.
Yeah,
she's a great vocalist.
She's another free spirited type
very
person.
Very unique voice.
Yes.
Very and jazz influence. That's why I thought of her.
Definitely.
I hate that Chrisette went through the little.
Yeah, I hate it too. I hate
they just threw poor little Chrisette under the bus. Bless her little heart, Lord. Damn, I'm talking about they kill her. Yeah. They kill her, and I felt bad. She was actually very damaged from that mentally.
Of course.
And I just wish she just would have tuned people out, you know, so that wouldn't have affected her. But it's something that happened. But I saw her live in concert, and she's talented. Mm-hmm. She's definitely talented.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know about Anthony David.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like Anthony David. Yeah.
Definitely. Another soulful artist. I love the song he had with India Ari. That was a beautiful song to me.
Yeah.
I play that song a lot. So, you know, it was and both of them are so soulful. So for them to, you know, put a song together, it was just awesome.
Yeah. Somebody else, Music Soul Child.
Oh yes, my man.
We was talking about him earlier. Like Music Soul Child, he was definitely. I wish he was still making the same music,
right.
You know, from back then. But he has made some great music,
right, man.
Yeah.
And the stories,
mm-hmm.
man. Oh, and the visuals he did through the videos. You see, back then, you know, when his songs was popping, you know what I'm saying, that it was the visuals. You had the videos to go along with it, so it told the story to go along with it. So you were able to, you know, put two and two together. So it made the song more relatable.
Don't Change was that Don't Change video.
Buddy, you know, he told the story through Buddy. You know, it was,
It'll
you know,
fly.
right. It might be.
Yeah, that's so fly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know, vibing with the girl. Like, it was just like timeless, man. Like, that's just. Man, we need that. We need that back, man. Like
really
that. I love the video days, man. You just get up on Saturday mornings or whatever. You know, just watch videos all day.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we ain't got that kind of time no more, but I'm just saying, like, bring it back for the new generation.
Yeah, we sound old now.
Right. Bring it back.
That new school, but for real, like that was when neo soul or soul music or whatever was much more appreciated.
Exactly.
Like it's still good, like really good soul artists and stuff, but they're not as on a broader scale that you would think they would be on, being, you know, how talented they are. But I think that might be the beauty of it. It's just that it's for those people who gravitate toward it, you know, naturally.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know me raising my sons, I'm gonna pump it in them because my mom, you know, pumped it in me when I was young. That's probably why I love it so much. So I'm gonna pump that in them, even though, you know, that'll be generations before them, but they'll still have the opportunity to get the experience. I won't cancel that out of their life because it's just like, you know,
See, for me,
this is where it came from, you know. So
I gravitated to soul and neo soul music and R&B because I was raised in the church. So, you know, gospel music was like very soulful. You know, that's that music that give you chill bumps when you hear people sing, you know, up on the podium in church. So, you know, my parents didn't let me listen to rap and all that stuff. So, you know, R&B was my first little outlet that I had. So that was another, you know, skin toucher, you know, and you know, relatable music. So that neo soul is very, very relatable music. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. How do you feel about Jasmine Sullivan, MJ?
I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I truly adore not just her singing, but so I always say I'm a lyricist first. So I fall in love with your words first.
Yeah.
And so to me, I fell in love with her words. I fell in love the way she told a story and the way she talked about like her life, whatever it was at the time. And so I think that, you know, it's great to see her grow as a woman and as an artist. So I dig her completely. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I like her vocal technique and the raspiness of her voice, and she's a great vocalist, great singer. She makes good music, you know. She's Jasmine.
You feel her music.
She makes you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's like the song that's popular off her most recent album. Was it Feels Like Fire?
Let it burn. Let it burn. Yeah. Man, when I say that's one of my. When she performed that live, that was so dope. I think that was the BT.
And you know the song that's
the originated from.
The originated song is Ready or Not. It's yours. Yeah. So it's just like that whole combination for me was like, you know,
I like Veins off that album too. Veins was another good one.
I haven't heard that track.
I mean, that's not one of the.
I mean, not the premiere, but it was another good song.
I like that. So I like the whole album actually.
Definitely.
Veins was definitely a dope song. I like the song she has Brand New on there, just basically talking about how these niggas, they get their little money and get the fame, and then now they want to act brand new when you were the one who was like holding it down for them when they weren't at the status that they are now. That's a nice song. And then the Mona Lisa song, Masterpiece, I love that song. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but
heard it,
I like In Love with Another Man.
Yes, that's one of my.
Oh my God.
That song is emotional. That make you be like,
oh my God.
It's a deep, complex.
The way she sang that song is just.
But you know, and that's the thing. The story was so true.
You know,
it was like the inner you talking to that guy, you know, or even that girl where you're like, you're perfect.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I like the imperfection right here.
Yeah.
That's in front. I know.
Yeah.
I know he a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
damn
it's
this is my.
Yeah, it's like this is my motherfucker. You know?
The way she just sang that song, it was just so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could tell she just really went in deep and sang that song. Like it was just like, I don't know. She could sing that acapella. It was damn near acapella.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she could have sung that acapella, and it would have just been like, wow. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
Timeless, man.
Yeah,
That whole album. Was awesome.
And you know, it's like her music to me is timeless music.
Yes.
Definitely.
Her
timeless.
music to me is, you know, like the young people coming up now will see her as our Aretha. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that music that they're gonna be singing 10 years from now.
Yeah. Definitely.
So with, you know, like we were saying, Jasmine being a great vocalist and stuff like that, like who are some I don't know if we already like, are you a fan of like your Kiki Wyatts and your Fantasias and your Jennifer Hudsons, like as far as like the power singers?
Power singers, I would say, yeah, I'm a fan of Kiki Wyatt for sure.
Yeah.
You know, Fantasia to me is like, yeah, she's dope.
Yeah.
You know, anybody else, I don't feel like I'm not too keen on. But, you know, but then I like more versatile singers. I like that Whitney Houston where you can be power but soft at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, Whitney can go, oh, I want to dance with somebody. And then she can also sing, and I, you know, and then be real soft and you know, and different things like that.
Yeah.
So, Kiki Wyatt, I love Kiki Wyatt, but I feel like it's too perfect.
Really?
It's too good. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, that's why I'm drawn to like the Mary J. Blige vocalist type, because you can feel that pain in the voice. You can feel that. In the voice, you know, even like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, they love Beyonce. They think she's an amazing vocalist, but I say there's a difference between a singer and a vocalist.
Right.
I think she's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
But I think a vocalist makes you takes you in. It's like it's a vacuum. Like Fantasia is a vocalist.
Absolutely.
She takes you in. You feeling that thing, and you could be
Fantasia will make you cry. I cry listening to Fantasia. You know, she completely absorbs you in the song. You know, you feel completely absorbed, and then you see her on stage, you're like, wow,
I think I just went to church, Jesus. You know? It's really good like that. You know, so
I always say I wish that I want to hear like it ain't even gotta be. It could be like an EP or like something just like gospel songs by Fantasia. That would be nice to hear. You remember that back in the day, Destiny's Child used to do that. They used to add a couple of little gospel songs to the end of their album. You know, thank the Lord at the end. You know, and keep on going.
Everybody used to do that. Used to do a little gospel song at the end.
Right. I don't know if y'all remember. Or if y'all watched American Idol the last time before they shut it down, but Fantasia was on there with LaPortia. LaPortia Renee is a beautiful voice. Yeah. She sang a rendition of or cover rather of Rihanna's song, and to me, I think she
she has a great voice.
Her range, and she kind of favors me when you talk about Fantasia as far as being able to do the beautiful things with her voice.
Since she's mentioning, I just thought about it. A couple of people, you guys may not even know them, but I follow them on Instagram. They're like rising stars. As far as vocalists and stuff like that. Jade Nova, I don't ever know if y'all have ever heard of her. Go look her up on Instagram, Jade Nova. When I say excellent singer, she's excellent. She on Instagram, she does a lot of cover songs, but she adds her own like twist to it. And she has kind of almost, her voice is awesome. Like she has like some versatile styles in her voice. And another person, I don't know if y'all ever heard about Avery Wilson. Avery, look these people up. I'm telling you, like right now, do not forget, look these people up. When I say Avery, you will be blown away by this boy voice. Yes, like I wish that he was he got a couple of singles on iTunes or whatever like that. But I wish that he was, that more people knew about him. That he was actually, you know, out there like that, because his voice is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So you look up those people; those are just some like underground people.
You said Avery who?
Avery Wilson.
Oh,
He does a lot of cover songs on there as well.
I know another guy. I think he's from Australia. His name is William Singe. I don't know if y'all heard about him.
Yeah,
he does a lot of covers.
Mm-hmm.
And man, when I tell you, I posted a couple of them, but man, when I tell you, he kind of make you reconsider a couple original songs. So I'm just being honest. Like the way he sings, he has some vocals as well. So
yeah.
But yeah.
So it's some great people out here.
Got him locked in.
Yeah. So it's definitely
Check that out.
It's definitely been dope talking with you today, MJ.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
for coming. I love MJ. MJ is such a sweet spirit, man. For real, she's such a good person.
Please send us some tickets or whatever the case may be for the next show, or let us know when the next show
MJ
is.
always performing. How about you tell them where to find you at on social media? That way they can keep up with your shows, because she's always. Right. I really ain't think I was gonna be able to bring her in today because she's so busy.
We really appreciate you.
On the grind, spreading her talent.
So Facebook is MJ Baker Music. That's my page. At MJ Baker Music on Twitter and Instagram. And my next show is actually Prohibition Kitchen in St. Augustine, Florida. And from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., me and my band are going to be rocking out that night. So
yeah, great performer. What day is that?
I love that.
That's a Saturday night, so May 12th.
May 12th. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If y'all local, definitely if you have some time and want to enjoy some good music, definitely. Check out MJ on May the 12th.
Yes.
And like I said, we appreciate having you here.
Yeah, this is fun.
Definitely.
And we enjoy, and thank you for joining the Musicheadz.
Thank you.